Minnesota Vikings got after it, adding some nice to the receiver room during the draft in first-round pick Jordan friggin' Addison. But also Kwesi got after it in undrafted free agency, adding a trio of nice receivers in Thayer Thomas, the slot machine punt return star from NC State, Cephas Johnson III, the converted quarterback, formerly of Southeast Louisiana, could be Taysom Hill type player, as well as Malik Knowles, the pride of Kansas State, who is an elite kick returner, great in the open field as well. So let's talk about Malik Knowles today. Background: 22 years young, 6'2", $196, former 3-star recruit from Mansfield, Texas. Took his talents to Manhattan, Kansas. Was on the 5-year plan. Came up in 2018. Was a redshirt freshman. Redshirt senior season 2022. Career high 48 catches, 725 yards receiving. Both led the Wildcats. By the way, second place in catches on Kansas State, Kurt Warner's kid, in case you just wanted to feel old. Also, he had 8 carries for 164 yards and 3 touchdowns, primarily used on jet sweeps. And Knowles and Deuce Vaughn, I mean, they really were the Kansas State offense. That's basically it. That's it. And Knowles had a phenomenal career with the Wildcats. 1,867 yards receiving, 1,691 yards kick returning, 27.7 yards per return. Was fantastic as a kick returner. Took 3 to the house as well. Finished 5th all-time in Kansas State history in terms of all-purpose yards, which is really impressive considering like 17 different Lockets went there. Lance Zierlein's NFL.com draft profile, this way wrote, overview. Perimeter receiver with adequate measurables and above average value as a kick returner. Knowles is an angular route runner who is much more effective on longer developing routes that allow him to win with tempo through turns. Lacking suddenness, he will struggle beating press and uncovering underneath. He requires a runway to find his speed and run after catch throws. Knowles is athletic and smooth as a pass catcher, but might be limited to a role as a potential wide receiver 5'6" with kick return value. And to me, like Knowles, he is one of the players where he's not sudden, like he's not as silky smooth of a route runner as Addison for sure, but he's the type of guy that, you know, like Lance said, where he's a long strider, where if he's able to get into the open field and get a full steam ahead, as Reggie Miller would say, he can do some damage, and that's why he is so good at returning kicks. And just finding a role for him in the offense, like it may be a little bit tricky. He may be a bit of a one-trick pony, given that he needs better route refinement, but I mean, there's a lot of upside there. And also, I mean, if he would have been drafted in the 7th round, I don't think anyone blinks necessarily. So the Vikings did get some value there. But he is big-bodied. He is 6'2", $196. Does have solid hands. Is a hands catcher versus a body catcher, which is big for a receiver as well. He's a really great athlete in space. Good in contested catch spots as well. So that could be a potential role for him. Does need to get stronger and does need to work on running the full route tree and getting better separation, especially at the stem. You know, but that's where, you know, guys like Keenan McCardle, where guys like Jefferson come in to help mentor these young guys. And I do like Knowles a lot. I think that he adds some value on special teams, even though obviously the Vikings have the best kick returner in the league in Kinkene and Wangu. But having a backup certainly doesn't hurt, as well as, you know, having a guy that could come in, develop into a nice wide receiver 4-5. I think that is where Knowles is right now. And even though the receiver room is stacked with Jefferson and KJ and Addison and Jalen Naylor, I think that he could potentially carve out a role. I think that he could land on the practice squad and then develop in a year or two, work on routes, add some good strength in the NFL weight and nutrition program, and then go from there, man. But overall, I do like Malik Knowles. He really does have a bit of an it factor, especially when he gets into the open field, gets those long strides going, and gets after it, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings UDFA wide receiver Malik Knowles. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo, as well as check out the store, purpleftw.net. But until next time, Skol, production value.